morning. Good morning. Good to see you. Pardon me, I'm sorry.
Some of Bill's spots are over here, and Berta and my wonderful sister-in-law had succulents in them, so if anyone would like to take a Bill pot home with them, please feel free to. I want you to know that Bill cared deeply for all of you, and he's a great guy, and I love him. Really. If anyone's interested, this machine has a chipmunk feature, so we can program it for chipmunk if you would like to say a few words in chipmunk. And Kathy?
Oh, dear.
Hi, Kathy. Would you talk about the bench? And I want to tell you that Kelvin, my favorite guy from Publix, is here. Bill Kelvin.
All right.
He's the emperor of aisle 6.
Hey. A lot of you contributed to a bench for Bill, and it's going to be here on the walkway when it's eventually put back together. And the plaque, I found out yesterday, is ready, and they're holding on to it. So as soon as they get this walkway put back together, it'll be ready for Bill. And so Peggy and I worked on what we wanted the plaque to say, and it says, "In loving memory of Bill McGarvey, December 31st, 1940. November 8, 1922. Bill enjoyed many things about the beach, greeting friends with a smile and a kind word, making sure his four-legged friends were fed, and keeping our beach clean. We miss you, Bill."
Jackie Solari did a Coastal Connections basket that we used to pick up trash. And she picked up things off the beach, and she made a display that is absolutely lovely. Another person that we know, we always pass each other and say, "Did you find anything good today?" or "What did you find today?" And so she has a found shovel with some little shells on it. I think it's really cute. And I think I told you there's some little bags of stuff that we collected on the beach every year. So over the years. So if you'd like a little memento.
Not trash, though.
It's not no, it's not trash. So if anyone would like to say anything, feel free, and please eat and drink and think happy thoughts about Bill.
Yeah.
She's right here. She's in back of them. She's in the back of them. She's there. Jeannie!
I would just like to say, and it was said actually in the plaque that Kathy presented today, but I wanted to say the last few days of Bill's life, Piano Ed I call him, and I helped Bill several times walking because he was having trouble walking. And I just want to say that it was just amazing to me that he still, at that point, when he was so hurting, I know, and just not feeling up to Bill, who Bill was, he still would say very quietly to us, "Thank you." And I just think that that's so important today. I think that a lot of us forget to say thank you. And I just want to thank Bill for thanking all of us for everything. And we will miss him terribly.
Okay, I met Bill on the beach I'm a fisherman, so I fished this point here, and Gabby took this picture of Bill, and then I love this poem. It's the dash. So it says, I read of a man who stood to speak at a funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of birth, and then he spoke the following dates with tears. But he said what matters most of all was the dash between the years. For the dash represents all the time that they spent alive on earth, and now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters most is how we live and love and how we spend the dash.
So
What a wonderful gathering this is. My name is Rick King, and I've known Bill for all of his life. We were brought up together. We're cousins, and went to a lot of family gatherings together, did a lot of family summer trips together, vacations, and we probably got along better than siblings did, because of the fact that we didn't live under the same roof, and therefore didn't have any of the rivalries or jealousies or fights or anything else. In fact, that's one thing that I will say that Bill and I never really had, was we had disagreements, but we never had any fights as such. A fact you may not know about Bill is that he was a choir boy. And as we were growing up, the church we attended, we were in the choir. And his sister probably remembers the fact that as choir boys in that time, we had big bow ties and would sing. And as part of that, we had a choir camp. In fact, Sue and I were talking a little bit earlier about the fact that we went down for 2 weeks. The girls' choir only got 1 week. And yeah, we did. And we got paid. And she said the girls' choir didn't get paid. So we had that. And Bill and I had a number of things in common. And actually, at that choir cottage, we would talk about it later. One of the things that we did was every morning when we got up, they had a regular routine for us. After cleaning up and this, that, and the other thing, we would go out and have to play baseball. And neither one of us were very good at it. And the one thing that we had in common was that we were never usually on the same team. And the reason for that was that we were always the last ones to be chosen. Bill and I have kept in contact with one another over the many years, and it just has been interesting how our relationship has grown. They moved to Vero, I believe it was in the 90s, and we followed shortly thereafter. And we were both working at the time, but we always found time to stop in at Kelly's and have a brew. And after we retired, in fact, Bill retired a little before I did. He did not. One of the things he did not like was work, and he was very thankful for being able to retire. He had a regular routine, and that he had a very regimented type of routine that he would have. But the retirement was such that we had traded in as we were growing up. We would ride bikes, and as we retired, we rode a bar stool. Sounded a lot safer for many reasons. But anyway, we would enjoy a Guinness or 2 or 3 sometimes, or more, and at Kelly's, and then later Riverside and other places that might serve that delightful beverage, and reminisce, as well as talk about things that were happening in our lives and that sort of thing. Bill loved his morning walks with his group, and he talked about the feeding of the dogs. He always carried the dog biscuits or dog food along with him for he and Peg, that they would do that. They'd get up very early in the morning a lot earlier than I would want to get up after being retired. But they would have their morning walk and then bike ride just about on a daily basis that they had, and I think that's where he met many of you. Even at Kelly's and the other places we went, Bill did not know a stranger, and that's pretty evident from the crowd that's here, as he always engaged other people, either sitting next to us or across from us, in conversation. He was very open and very friendly, and really enjoyed being with people and hearing their stories. And that was one thing that was really admirable that I found about Bill. Was we have a fairly large family, with just having raised 2 kids. We have a number of grandchildren and so forth. And Bill was a great listener, and had a great memory. And he would remember the names and ages even of grandchildren that I was struggling with, I must say. But he would always recall, and in fact, when we did get together, he would oftentimes pick up the conversation from where we left off. All that I knew where we left off was at bar stool, that we would kind of go on from there. But we did, and one of the great loves in his life was certainly Peg, and I know he would certainly enjoy this gathering today, and have a feeling that his spirit is certainly among us as we're here today. So we thank you all for coming, and wish any others that have stories to share about Bill and that sort of thing. There are several family members that are here. His sister Sue is here in the back, and her husband Daryl. My wife Barb. There's Steve McGarvey and his wife Gigi, and Bunny, his sister, are here. Others that were not able to make it, Craig, his brother, is over in Ireland. We have Peg. Just wanted you to know that Peggy Rawl sends her wishes and condolences, as do Roger and Pat, their cousins, and Barb and George, and John and Ronnie, also cousins, send their condolences as well. They live quite a distance away and were not able to be down here today. So again, thank you all. We appreciate you coming, and invite others to share stories of Bill. Thank you.
My name is Ed.
Pull it closer.
Yeah. Okay. My name is Ed. This is Wendy, my fiancée, and we moved here about a year ago. And my application was accepted into the beach patrol, and I didn't realize what an honor it was at the time that Willie and Bill had been walking that beach every day for 16 years, and maybe just slightly less after she retired. So it's been a real pleasure getting to know them. What I'd like to do is sing a song that I think is appropriate for the occasion. And if you give me just a second to prepare, we'll do that. Look, look, look to the rainbow. Follow it over the hill and stream. Look, look, look to the rainbow. Follow the fellow who follows a dream. Follow the fellow. Follow the fellow. Follow the fellow who follows a dream.
So, let's eat.
Well done, Ed. Yeah, that was awesome. That would be one hard puzzle to put together.
Yeah, that's why it's in glass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I got some really intense puzzles here that were, wood pencil, wood, what's it called, wizard? And they're made out of wood.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're beautiful. Beautiful pieces. So I got an owl, which is kind of small, but it's all little tiny pieces of wood. Like, oh, look.
360.
360.
Yeah.
Started trying to figure a way that he could put it on his board.
When he's out in the ocean. Correct. He has many uses for it. So, yeah, Peggy will enjoy this one. He is a pro. And he is a gold pro.
This is the best one. This is the Hulk.
Take a picture.
Hey, Russ. I don't know. You're good. I dressed up.
Good morning. Oh, hey, Russ. How are you, man? Doing well? Yeah. How are you doing here?
Yeah, I was filming this for Peggy.
Still appreciate it later.
What a turnout.